Want some candy?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I hear you looking for candy, man, bitch.
Give me some sugar, baby.
Like scary movies.
Want some candy?
Hey, candy killers! It's your boy, Jack Daniels. And if you want to get jacked and stacked like me, stay tuned for this episode of Monster Candy Podcast.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Screaming E from the Memphis Murder Men. Oubliette Sparks from Tsunami Bomb. And back with us again, Scarlett Rick.
I'm back.
From Down the Hatch Food Review.
Yeah, how's it going? Yeah.
Thank you to Jack Daniels
Yeah,
for bringing
sick
us
dude.
that intro. Hell yeah. Jack
Yeah,
Daniels
super.
wrestling merch
He
soon.
sounds strong.
Hell yeah. Jacked up on D-ball and fucking C4. He's ready to get shit going. Tonight, we're going to talk about another new movie that everyone seems to be fucking fingering their buttholes about. The 2022 or 2021, I guess it got started filming then, but it came out 2022. Mystery horror
Serial killer.
Supernatural
thing, The Black Phone. And that's not being racist. It's because the phone is black. So
But first,
horror
boop, boop, boop.
doop, doop, boop, boop. Horror news. Who has some horror news?
I do.
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah,
So have you guys heard that Lou Ferrigno is super pumped to film his very first horror movie?
More weight,
No.
Dad. More weight. Put more weight. I need more weight.
Yeah. So he's super smart too. I can tell by his quotes in this article, but it's filming kind of near me. But it's going to be a creature-ish sort of film that Lou Ferrigno, he said he always like loved Frankenstein and Dracula and wanted to play a role like that. So this is the role he picked. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. Okay.
Yay.
So,
Yes. I love Lou Ferrigno, by the way.
Yeah, same.
Like The Incredible Hulk was awesome.
Absolutely.
well, so just listen to what he calls a very original concept that he is excited to create.
Okay.
The Hermit centers on two 19-year-olds who go on a fishing trip when they stumble across a farm with animal heads hanging from the wall. Then they meet the giant that runs the place, a loner who doesn't speak well because he grew up kind of feral with his mother, who taught him how to cook and eat people and make beef jerky.
I don't know where I've heard anything like that before.
Me neither.
What in the hell?
So he's going to be a pig farmer that's cannibal.
All
And
right.
neither of
Is-
those things have been in
And his name's going
other
to be like
movies.
Suede Face.
Hey, you know what? Sounds original to me.
I'll watch it because Lou Ferrigno
Yeah.
is fucking awesome.
I was going to say it has
Exactly.
Lou Ferrigno in it, so that's original
I mean,
Yeah. No shit.
for a horror movie. So
like if
okay.
you ever have to watch, if anyone has ever watched Pumping Iron, like,
Yeah.
God damn, I feel so bad for that guy because Arnold fucked with him so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it made him better. So I got it. But I love fucking Lou Ferrigno. So
Well-
I'm in for it.
I just found that one too in like the last 30 seconds before we started this because I was like, I got to find something. And then that came up and I was like, no way. So I looked at a couple different articles just to vet it first. Vetted. Variety just wrote about it.
Ooh,
It's happening.
There you go. That's it. Solid.
It's real.
hell yeah.
So,
We'll wait.
the Hermit. Mhm.
Oh yeah. Scarlett, you got anything?
Yeah, I did like that same thing. But I didn't find Lou Ferrigno news, so that's a bummer. But I guess they're making a story about Edgar Allan Poe. Like they just released that trailer
Yeah.
today.
Mhm.
Raven's Hollow.
Mhm.
I mean, it seems okay. I saw the only thing is like before I saw the trailer, it said like disturbing new trailer, and like I watched the trailer and was like, it's not that disturbing, but okay. So
Just
hopefully it
like
won't.
some other movie that wasn't
It,
so brutal.
exactly. So
Hmm.
again, here I am thinking that I'm on a different level than most people, but I don't know.
You hate
Um,
literature and poems, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I don't know, but it didn't look bad. Like it kind of had that Sleepy Hollow vibe, like from back in the day. So
Right.
it's been pretty good. Yeah.
Speaking of trailers, this isn't my horror news, but the trailer for Pearl
Mm-hmm.
popped
Yeah.
out, which was cool. Which I just had my friend watch X the other night. She
Yeah.
never saw it, and she was like, "What the fuck? This movie's crazy."
Yeah.
Like
I gotta
good
get Tom
crazy.
to watch it.
Yeah, I was like,
I got
yeah,
a really cool poster from it.
nice.
Did you? Ooh.
Yeah.
And-
A24 has it on their store, and it's like really one of the best horror posters I've seen in a long time.
Cool. I
Yep.
like their stuff. So.
A new movie that was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
That totally
I-
shocked. Like I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was.
I really liked it besides the fact that I saw it with my mom. But it was a good movie. It wasn't she was like at one point she just looked at me, she's like, where aren't they supposed to show a dick? And I'm like, oh my god, mom, shh.
Like it's coming. Don't worry. I mean,
Whoa.
We're at the theater, calm down. Yeah, it was
no pun intended.
yeah, I was like, geez, all right.
Where are
That's
the
awesome.
dicks?
Yeah, basically.
Like,
that's-
mom, Screaming E
Yeah.
was taking all of them.
Yep, that's
what he
right.
does. Yeah, I'm taking all the dicks, eating all.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, look cool. It was funny because like everyone else, she didn't catch that it was the same actress playing the daughter of the fucking preacher. She was like, "What?"
Right.
I was like, "Yeah." So
It took me a second. Yeah.
yeah, that the prequel looked cool.
Yeah.
The
I thought it
trailer
looked
for it,
neat.
I'm like, yeah, that looks like it'd be a fun movie.
Yeah, be interesting.
So okay, my horror news, which will probably be at least a week old by the time this comes out. So I guess there is some movement on the Friday the 13th franchise stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know because it says news coming very soon. And you can find this on Bloody Disgusting. I mean, it doesn't really say much of anything. Like there's some news and the news could be like, there's been no resolution, which when I was reading and I'm finding out who's involved with wanting to do a fucking like a new imagining or reimagining or version or whatever, new iteration of the franchise. I'm like, produced by LeBron James and his fucking entertainment thing. Fuck
Excuse me?
LeBron James. Like
No.
if I was Victor Miller, I wouldn't want anything to do with that either.
No, absolutely not.
Like the fuck. So I was like, ew. I
Yeah,
can only
that's
imagine
terrible.
what kind of garbage would come out. I mean, I don't know. I guess
Trash.
yeah, I guess it could be good. Yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
Everyone
Mm.
the broken clock is right twice a day, right? So I guess
Yeah.
never say never, but I don't know. That dude just seems like he sucks and like he's like King Lizard person. So I wouldn't want him to touch my shit either.
It's true.
So yeah,
Yeah,
hang on to
seems
your
like a
shit,
mismatch.
Mr. Miller. Don't let them take your baby and fuck it up. So yeah, I mean that's all my news. Anyone got anything else?
No.
All right, well, that's it for horror news. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about the Black Phone. Do you want to read the little gimmick,
Sure.
Juliet?
Yeah, I gotcha. Finney Shaw is a shy but clever 13-year-old boy who's being held in a soundproof basement by a sadistic masked killer. When a disconnected phone on the wall starts to ring, he soon discovers that he can hear the voices of the murderer's previous victims. They're all dead set on making sure that what happened to them doesn't happen to Finney.
Dead set.
That's a good one.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Right. Oh yeah, that I got your text. That is pretty cool.
That's a rad
Poster.
poster.
Yeah.
It's so rad.
Yeah.
And it's giant, but it looks old. It's
I
cool.
might have to get that myself. That's
It's
pretty
printed
dope.
really well. So yeah, this movie, you know what I think its number one problem is?
What?
No, listen, I think that because it was based off a short story by Stephen King's son, they were trying to stray so far from that. But if they would have taken a cue from Stand By Me or It and really developed this story and the period it was in, this could have been really fucking fun.
It could have been. It could have been great.
At least it had the tingler in it.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't, Daddy Hawke. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If he wants to play Naughty Boys with me, yeah, totally.
Anytime.
Oh yeah, we can get into that. But
it was just go ahead.
I do love I love when movies will throw in like old horror movies, especially me being a fan, just podcast in general, being a fan of like old classic horror movies. So I love it when they'll have one on TV. I'm like, yes, that's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but this movie annoyed me for reasons that you just mentioned, because there was like no development in any facet with this movie. It was just kind of like, we're just gonna have a bunch of ideas and kind of
a little bit.
Kind of.
And the sister's character was hilarious, especially with the cops.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
That was
she
good.
was
When she's like, "Oh, so I'm the fucking grabber? You think I just took them the fuck out?" And they're like, "Whoa."
Like,
Which
calm down, child.
which I would have liked more if Psycho Goreman didn't already have like that little sister character in it. I was like,
I feel like she was nicer in this.
she's definitely
Like,
nicer
this
to her
character
brother,
was a
but
lot
just
nicer.
like just a super wise ass. I was like, yeah.
I know, but I liked this one. Annoyed me less than Psycho Goreman. That girl was a little.
Yeah. Oh no.
That girl was aggressive.
Yeah. It didn't
Is a much.
annoy me nearly as
just-
much. It didn't really annoy
Like
me
I
at all.
rarely say that movies should be longer, but like this one, I think would have been a better miniseries
Mm-hmm.
because you
Yeah.
really could have gotten to know the victims and like how they got kidnapped too, and I would have happily watched that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like even when they like slightly like threw in, like, oh, this happened, or like, oh yeah, you're
Mhm.
this person. It was like that was
Then a
cool, but I'm like,
flashback.
yeah, I'm like, I kind of want more. Like originally when I heard about this movie, I had no idea that it was the supernatural aspect to it.
Right.
And then like right before I was about to watch it, I watched a like trailer finally, like a full trailer, and was like, oh. Or I think I read the synopsis first and was like, wait, what the hell? What? And then like I
Right.
went to go watch it. I was like, oh, so this isn't just about a kidnapping. This is like more.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then I watched it and it just needed more.
It
'Cause
didn't. It needed a lot more because
Yeah, because I liked certain things to it, but not everything.
I
It
thought
just-
all the actors were good.
Absolutely.
The,
Yeah.
the fact that there's no story about the grabber is crazy.
Mhm.
I
Right.
mean, he mentions being a magician or whatever when
They
he
could have showed
grabs
that.
Minnie, but like, yeah, they should have showed, even if they would have done a 10-second montage of him doing magic with different masks, that would have
Yeah.
created like a whole other level of like, it's like they didn't do any flashbacks really, or things like that would connect you more to the story. It was just very linear.
right. They only did one with the
And
bully
why?
kid.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
which
true.
They should have
But-
done that with all of them. That would have been cool.
Well,
Yeah.
it was like there was a lot of ideas that they loosely tied together to make a not completely thought out movie.
Right.
Like a lot of stuff just seemed not to fit. Like the supernatural aspect of it could have been cool if they would have developed that part more. But to me, it just seemed like it was thrown in.
I don't know. See, I like that part, but that's where the character development should have been there, and you should have flashed back to those kids. So you
Right.
like that they got kidnapped, and there's like small things about them, but I feel like they took a short story, tried to put it into an hour and 45 minute, hour and a half long movie when this could have been a 2 hour or 2 hour and 10 minute movie, and actually added the things that would have connected us to the characters and given us more backstory and like, because I thought, conceptually, it's a good idea that each of these kids did something that almost got them out.
Right.
And like,
Absolutely.
they're somehow able to connect with this kid who's kidnapped. Like, I like the extra supernatural element, but like,
Yeah.
we don't see enough of those kids. Like, it's like you don't connect. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's-
I guess like since his
They
sister
fast
had
forward through the whole thing.
right, his sister had this, she had visions.
Right.
So maybe his thing was
He talks to dead people.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what
But-
I assumed it was.
Right. But it's like
those kids
Yeah.
did say only he and the grabber can hear it,
Yeah.
right.
because they said the other kids never heard the phone ring.
No.
Right. But then it's like, okay, the phone is very specific in the whole
Yeah, like-
movie. So it's like,
Tell us a story about the phone.
yeah, like there's got to be something about the phone, like, and that's
Yeah.
where the whole
Especially-
backstory with the grabber could have came in.
Well,
You
yeah,
know
that
what I
he
mean?
hates
Like-
it so much. Like,
Right.
tie that
Yeah.
in. Like, have him pick up the phone in the past or something and see why he's freaked out by the phone. Or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there was a lot. Or like have Finney and his sister, instead of her seeing visions or something, maybe her be connected to him telepathically somehow, and that's kind of how she finds him
Oh, or she could call the phone,
or something.
like
Yeah,
in her
something
dreams
That would
or
be
something.
right.
If she
Like
could've
something
called the
like
phone,
that.
That would have been dope.
Like I said, I just feel like
Yeah.
there's two concepts that they had that they could have
Yeah.
either made work better together or just get rid of one and elaborate on the other somehow to make it make more sense to me.
Yeah, it just didn't have as much storytelling as it should,
Right.
Yeah.
which to
Which
me
makes
is-
sense because I
so
didn't.
many people try
right.
to overdo it. You'd think that this one would at least give you the stuff, but that's why it's sad. They had a really good cast.
Mhm.
I mean,
Oh,
the
yeah.
scenes are shot beautifully. The costumes are great. Like, this could have
That
been like
mask
a super
dope.
nostalgic, cool thing. Oh, the masks were awesome,
The mask was
but
hella
we
cool.
don't fucking know the story.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
You're supposed to know it's from like the magicians who used to wear these devil masks, but like,
Yeah.
I didn't fucking know that, and I know tons of
I didn't
creepy
know
shit.
that.
I wouldn't have
That's
picked
sick.
up on it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know about that, and maybe
Yeah,
he
me too,
like
yeah.
is obsessed with a magician as a kid who like beat the shit out. I don't know. There could be a story of why he adapted that, but like they don't. I don't care about not knowing about his different personalities, but like give us something.
I did
Yeah.
not like Jeremy Davies, how
I
he
didn't either.
played a drunk dad.
I didn't
I thought
either.
it was weird.
He was
Like
an
it
asshole.
was like sometimes he was like kind of like a preachery, like, oh man, and you're talking this weird like whisper. I'm like, ugh, you're creeping me out, like not like a angry drunk. You're being
Yeah.
weird.
I
I don't
forget
know.
what
I-
there was a show
I
that
don't
he was
know.
in where he kind of played that same character. I can't remember what it was. Might have been Justified. I'm not sure, but he like kind of played that
Mm.
same type of person except without children,
Yeah.
and it was just as annoying. Like as soon as I saw him playing the character he was, I was like, Dad, damn it,
Yeah.
you again.
Thwarted by Jeremy Davies. Ah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wish this was better. I really did. And okay, how the fuck did the brother not know?
Oh God, that's the worst part of it.
There's a
and the fact that
giant-
he's obsessed with it too.
Dungeon. Well, I mean, that part,
Yeah.
but okay, how do you not know your brother just stays up all night shirtless with a fucking mask on in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Right. I
Yeah,
guess
as
he
soon
only
as I
timed it while the brother was at work, but like it's yeah. You
Yeah, as
don't-
soon as I saw it, I was like, and the brother was like on like
Coke?
coke, being up all night,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
going through crazy conspiracy theories. How did you not hear this happening?
Or how do you walk up the stairs? Or how do
Or
you go
find
down the stairs
masks.
with a mask, come up with mask, or just have the door open sometimes?
Yeah,
Like
I
maybe
don't
not
know.
the door that is in the kitchen, but the door down to the dungeon, like that's open and you're having a full on fucking
yeah,
conversation.
especially if you're into conspiracy theories and cocaine. Believe you me, you would go in the basement.
Oh my
I'd
God.
be like, "What's in the basement?"
You'd be like
Serious.
scratching the paint off the walls.
and it was there were parts where he was home because when he was like come back up, he's like, "Oh, nothing. Fucking the dog was whatever barking
Yeah,
at
obviously.
something."
So like he heard something.
Right. I'm
No,
like,
that's by far my least favorite part. That made
Yeah.
no sense because other than the fact that the cops had been there and then left. Like
Right.
that's the only reason to even
That
and who
too.
the fuck cares? That could have been anything like it was just
and there was a
that-
window
That addition was like
leading into the fucking
Nothing.
basement. It just had
I
bars
was
on
really
it.
surprised about the window.
I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, all right, well, I thought for sure that's how he was going to get out.
dude, when
Yeah.
was
Or
it? The
Scream.
70s, right?
Yeah.
Or was it early 80s?
70s,
Yeah, little
I
boys were
think.
chained in basements in the 70s all the time.
Yeah,
Nobody
but I
would
mean,
bat an eyelash.
Dude, people were walking around neighborhoods and like looking in fucking
Yeah.
windows and shit like all the time. Come on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that part fucking super
Especially if
bugged
a
me.
bunch of kids have been kidnapped.
Right.
Yeah, you think there'd be a little bit more of a. Yeah. That house
know
has a
about your neighbor
basement.
a little bit
Yeah,
more.
right. More secured.
Yeah.
I don't know. The cord through the carpet thing.
Oh, yeah.
The spinning bottle was fucking
Mm-hmm.
annoyed me too. And pointing up towards the window, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? And then he
Well,
rolls
it
up the
was a
carpet
supernatural thing.
Yeah,
And-
it was ghosts.
and gets the cord, but it somehow is stiff enough to stay
Get all
through the
way up.
fucking carpet and then wrap around the thing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, are ghosts helping him? I'm assuming maybe
Yeah, it was a real stiff cord. I think.
Yeah.
until it wasn't.
Very
And
tough.
then-
Yeah.
yeah. As he's holding it, it's all like flopping around. It's like a fucking telephone cord until he sticks it up through the carpet. It's like,
I know. Yeah.
okay.
I thought he was going to like climb up the carpet. And
Right.
then I was just like, oh,
Same.
you're going to floppy cord made it all the way up. All right.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Mhm.
Here we go.
Which is weird too. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you take the carpet down and put the cord through it and then lift the carpet
then-
up
Or there's a million other
Oh.
things.
and
Right.
then push the cord more?
That's a
Like,
good
after-
one.
But already kind of get it that far first.
Yeah.
And give it some
Because you're not
momentum. But
pushing
whatever.
You're not pushing a film
whatever.
cord through a carpet.
Yeah.
I guess.
No, physics, whatever.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But the way he actually got him at the end with using all the things was cool.
I thought that was dope.
Like it worked. And I was
Yeah.
surprised they kept adding other elements in that like split second into it.
Yeah, I mean it was Home Alone for sure. But
Yeah, but
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I feel like that's the thing. I feel like they should have gone way more of like an It Stand By Me sort of vibe
Mhm.
That would have been cool.
in this movie and made it, like a preteen sort of
Yeah.
story. And it would have been better because it had a lot of potential.
Did have a lot of potential. And there was a lot there that you could have done a lot with. So yeah, I
It
don't know
also
why.
had potential to go way darker too. I mean,
Mhm.
it could have gone either way, but it didn't go either. So
I was
either
hoping
wanted,
it was
like,
going to be darker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same, especially like when he was sitting up there shirtless with the belt talking about the naughty boy game. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, what's about to happen? And then
Yeah.
nothing happened.
Or even
Yeah.
show
Just some-
him
Just some kids told
killing
him
the
about
kids.
what he used to do. Right.
Yeah, because it was just like even with like the newer It's, right? Like
Right.
not
Mhm.
great, but the fact that they actually showed children like getting killed,
right.
that was like I was like that's dope because that was like the book, right? Like I was like that's
Right.
sick, and that's kind of what like I got that vibe in the beginning. Then I was like when the kids were beating the crap out of him, out of
Mhm.
Finney and all that
Mhm.
stuff, I was like this is dope. And then I was
Yeah.
like,
I
oh,
thought it
they
was gonna be
didn't.
more violent.
Yeah, and they just kind of fell flat. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like it sucks because like I liked the movie, but there's a lot of
Yeah.
parts about it that were just kind of like, why didn't you do this? Like,
I
Right,
felt like it
like
dropped the
too,
ball.
But it just could have been
Exactly.
so much better. I mean, even during the phone calls, it could have been flashbacks. Like when that kid was like, we all went up the stairs and it hurt bad. He beat us. Like while that's going on, why do we have to like
Nope.
see the kid on the phone? Why aren't you
Yeah.
seeing at least the shadows of him like beating the fuck out of these kids?
yeah,
Right.
if
something.
they didn't want to physically show it, yeah, just
Yeah.
do something like that. That
And
would've
I was
been great.
talking to somebody about this. Was it today or the other day? About how like older movies implied a lot more. They didn't even necessarily have to show it, but it was implied. So
Mhm.
even if you didn't actually see the act, you saw a shadow or you saw something that, you know,
Right.
that was happening in the moment. You're like,
Even
oh,
hearing screams, hearing a child scream after you hear like a belt smack is like something.
right.
Yeah. The rating on this was PG-13, I assume, right? It wasn't R.
I would hope
right?
so. I would hope so.
Yeah.
Because if it's R, they seriously missed the mark.
It is
of what
R.
they could have done.
It was
it's
R.
How? How? What made it an R movie?
Because I think that was the thing, was like I was super juiced on watching this. Like Tom was going on vacation, and I was like, I'm gonna watch this at home. Like, it's gonna be sick. And then I had a coworker that said she liked it, and she's not like a horror person. And so I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. And then my brother said that it was fun, which made me also go like, okay, so it's not great. It's fun, right? I
Right.
was like, okay, let's see how this goes. Yeah, and, but yeah, that's rated R.
Oh, the drug use.
I
The cocaine and a couple of bloody images.
guess.
Yeah,
Fucking
cocaine
dumb.
makes movies R, I guess. Does it
God,
really?
Yep.
I miss
Yeah.
the
Because it
80s.
actually probably showed it.
I miss the 80s
Yeah.
when drug use and violent, bloody scenes were
Weird.
PG.
They're all PG.
Like, meh.
A little bit
They've
of
seen
cocaine ain't gonna
worse.
hurt no one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Hmm.
bummed out about this movie.
Yeah,
they,
because
ca-
yeah.
they kind of
If
made it
this would've
seem like it
been
was
like-
going to be super rad and violent. And, oh my god, it's fucking scary and all this shit. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
If
Tom
this-
Savini
if this
doing
didn't
makeup and stuff.
ha-
So I'm like,
Yeah. If this didn't have the actors it did and the budget it did, and it was just a movie that came out that I wasn't expecting anything of, I'd be like, wow, that's pretty good.
right.
But the people they had working on this, there's no excuse for what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was an Amazon Prime video.
Totally.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Some
I'd be
fucking
psyched. I'd be
Hulu
like, that
original.
was fun.
Yeah,
I mean, even if it was like a barely made it to the theater kind of movie, I would be okay with it. But this one, like, they hyped up. I mean, even at the local movie theater here, they were pre-selling tickets to it weeks before. Like, they were making it seem like a big deal, like a
Right.
summer horror movie.
selling the sizzle, baby.
And
Yeah.
it could have been, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so he escapes. Finney escapes, and he's
He's
running.
been then.
Right. But I mean, he runs straight through fucking, like he runs straight. He runs out of the house and just runs down the sidewalk. I'm like, dude, start zigzagging, run through some fucking yards. Like, get the fuck out of there or run to somebody's door. And if it's in
Yeah.
the 70s, people are going to come out. Be like, what the
Oh, yeah.
fuck is going on? Not just like it is nowadays where people like peek out the window, like, oh my God, hey, it's not my thing. So I'm not going
Yeah.
to get
Not my
involved.
problem.
Yeah, you know, I was like, you hear a fucking screeching ass car, like van, some kid
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
screaming, especially since kids are getting jacked left
Again,
and right.
yeah, that's true.
Right.
You think everyone would be like, what the fuck? And come running out, but they didn't. And
Nope.
then, yeah, I don't know. And while he's
But
fucking,
remember, everybody was getting drunk and beating their kids. So kids screaming is just,
I
part
guess,
of the
Day of life.
neighborhood.
I guess there is that. But also, dude, you dug a hole through a fucking wall. First of all, with a toilet, the top of a toilet tank, which that porcelain is not gonna.
Desperate times.
Dude, that shit would have fucking broke.
What if porcelain was stronger back then?
I guess. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Main-
a different time.
Yeah.
I
Things are
don't know.
better.
I don't know.
It's true.
I've
and walls were made
I've broken a
sheer.
number of toilets in my day back in the 80s, and that shit was not that strong. I'm like, and they don't hear that upstairs? Like, that's like major fucking construction going on in your basement. That's
I know, but
soundproofed,
he
I
said
guess.
he soundproofed it.
I
He
guess. I
soundproofed
don't
it
know.
himself.
And he's digging a
Whenever he
giant
didn't do
hole in
that.
the fucking
Yeah.
floor that you just didn't happen to notice, like anything going on. I don't know. There's a
Yeah.
lot. There's a lot of this.
I
movie
really
that I'm
wish
just like,
the grabber was in a different movie.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
need a do-over with this one, and they need to give that character a different movie
Yeah,
and do it right, because I feel like it could have been cool.
It could have been really rad.
yeah. If they would have made the movie about Ethan Hawke's character,
Mhm.
that would have made a way better movie.
Maybe
Yep.
they will.
Maybe. I mean, I
You
guess they
never
could do
know.
the
Grab
thing.
origins.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
So they just make a mini series out of it.
Yeah.
Exactly. There, I get
Origin
the mini
story.
series I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of column
Um,
A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah, I don't know. But they needed to do something because it just wasn't, it just didn't deliver. And I wanted it to so bad. I'm like, okay, you got this John Wayne Gacy thing going on. The two house
Yeah.
thing was cool. Like he buried one, one was for burial and the other one was for what he was doing
Naughty
to the
boys.
kids. Yeah, for the naughty boys.
The naughty boys.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Hunky boys and naughty boys. It's like the rival gang.
And again, they kept referencing the game called Naughty Boy, but yet
Mhm.
we never got to see the Naughty Boy game.
Yeah, which I guess the game was trying to escape. So
Sure,
that was them
maybe.
being naughty.
Maybe.
But again,
You don't know. We didn't see.
yeah, you needed
Sure.
to see, definitely needed to see more of that. And
Yeah.
then there's the fucking,
We don't get enough good, serial killer capture
don't.
movies anymore.
mm-mm.
And then you have one that has potential and it's got no backbone.
And has the least vicious attack dog ever.
I love that dog
Oh,
so
yeah.
much.
Yeah, he
It's
just
so
he
cute.
just brings him down. He's like, "Woof, woof, 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 woof," and you just hold him like he's not trying to attack the kid or anything. He's
Yeah.
like,
No,
all right, I'm gonna
that
put you
dog
on a
was
leash
great.
or put you on the chain, and the dog just stays there and just
He's all,
stands. I'm like, huh?
how's it going,
Uh-huh.
buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good boy. That's a very good boy in that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. I did love the part where he fucking hatchets the brother in the head. That was cool.
Oh, that was sick.
Oh, that was great. Totally
I did
nonchalant.
like that.
It was like, you just made me kill my brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was an idiot,
Yeah.
but he was my idiot.
My idiot.
I'm like,
yeah.
oh,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
that's sweet.
I was like, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
God
then
damn
that
it.
also makes you so much more sad that you didn't see more of this
Mhm.
character because he obviously is just ready to do crazy ass shit,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like without thinking about it. Somebody who would just axe their brother like that, like,
Yeah. Oh man, this movie should have been at least 2 hours long for sure.
Which I
Yeah.
feel like is rare to, like you said earlier. Like it's
Right.
rare that I'll ever want a movie that's longer. But I was like, because after I watched it, I was like, this wasn't that bad. And then I kind of sat there for a minute, and I was like, no, I wanted more, dude. Like there was way more to that I
Yeah.
wanted. Like that's yeah.
well, because so many movies now, movies have gotten a lot longer, but
Mhm.
in a horror movie, if it's just going to be a hack and slash or whatever else, like an hour and a half is good for me. But if there's going to be a movie where I want the character development and I want to know more about what's going on, it's like use the
Absolutely.
2 hours,
Yeah.
use the time. And this
Oh.
one, they just moonlighted with wanting to do that, and then we're like, nope, we're not going to finish.
Yeah. This is definitely a movie that needed to be explained more. They had enough ideas in it that are like, you need to explain this shit a little more to have it tie in
Yeah.
a little bit better together. And then some his van is pretty recognizable,
Oh, dude.
That yeah.
right?
Comes tearing around that corner when he was going after him, and I was
With
just
a
like,
Right.
bunch of
yeah, that is.
balloons, because
How did you
that's
not
just
find that?
normal to see a guy in a top hat with a fucking bunch of balloons.
Yeah. And I'm like,
It was tied
that's
with-
inconspicuous. I'm gonna hide the child in the balloons.
Yeah,
right. And I
a
mean,
lot of cocaine in those
Yeah.
days.
I guess. Yeah, exactly.
it's
Uh,
it's like a little suburb, or maybe it's the next time. I mean, I don't know exactly where
and
the
he
town
had to
was.
say peachy keen, and that really just bummed me out.
Yeah, but I'm like, man, people know people or see shit back then in these type of neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Like,
It was like when Neighborhood Watch was actually a thing.
right? You
Yeah.
just knew people. Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking Mr. Johnson over there on fucking Jenkins Street. That guy, you can watch out for him or whatever.
That
But
house
people-
is really creepy. Don't go by it.
Yeah. Like you knew, again, the whole John Wayne Gacy thing where it's like, what about a mustache?
Oh, it happened.
Yeah. But he was a part of the community. And that's why people were like, no, he'd never do something like that. Like never suspected him. So I feel like
yeah, a lot of those old serial killers are
Nicest
Just-
people in the world.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like, man, they should have at least at the very least had more backstory on him, on the grabber.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, for sure. They missed the mark on that.
Like,
It
he
would
seemed
be
like an
very
afterthought
interesting.
almost. Like, they're like,
Right.
we'll just put the scary guy in there, and he's a thing. Like, whatever. Like, okay,
Mhm. I think
Yeah.
that they just like handed Ethan Hawke some masks and were like, okay, each one's going to be a different personality. Do your thing.
right?
Like, didn't think about the story, like what it could actually be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. You know, if
I
they would
know,
have
it's
just
like
consulted with us first before going
I
into
know, what
production,
the
we could have
fuck?
been like, you know what, this needs a change. We need to add some of this here.
It's true.
I don't know why they didn't call.
I don't know either.
I'm
Oh.
disappointed. We could
Exactly.
have helped, guys.
Yeah. Next time, fucking talk to us first, please.
It's true.
Right.
They
That's-
did have kind of a cool thing leading up to the movie. They had like an app that you downloaded or whatever.
Oh, really?
Or sorry, it wasn't an app. You put your phone number into this website, and then it sent me this thing that made my phone show the black phone on every wall, and it would start ringing,
Oh,
and it would
that's
be like, yeah,
that's
So it
fun.
was cool. And then he would text you and be like, "This is the grabber," like, and
I'm gonna grab your ass.
But then after a couple of texts, he was like, "This is Ethan Hawke, and I'm really excited you want to see my movie." Blah blah. Like, click this link, but it gave you tickets to one of the premieres in the different cities, like before
Oh.
it came out.
That's like a cool.
That's cool.
But of course, like there was one in the city, which is like 2 hours from me. But I was like, I'm not gonna jump in my car right now and drive 2 hours to go see this because they texted it to you like the day of. But I thought it was cool that they actually kind of used this like interactive thing, and it was. I think I found it because I went to the actual website to watch the trailer because I think it got released there first, and then it was like a thing popped up that was like, "Are you too scared to use the black phone?" And it was like, "Put your phone number here." So you like
Oh,
put your
cool.
phone in the grabber. I mean, it's silly. Only a couple parts of it were cool. The phone thing, and then like maybe one or two other things. But I thought it was a good idea to kind of like tie in. I remember like back in the olden days, sometimes there would be in the back of your magazine like a movie poster, and it would be like, "Call this number," and you'd call, and it would be like one of the characters in the movie saying something silly. But it reminded me of something like that, but actually using technology to do something a little more cool.
Right.
Stranger Things did that with this new season. You can call the Surfer Boy Pizza number, and it was like that guy
Yes.
talking, which was rad. Like that, it's fun.
I
to
loved
see
it.
that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
yeah, that's cool. cooler than the movie ended up.
Yes.
Yeah, man. See, movies like this kind of bum me out because they have such potential. Where you're like, oh, why didn't you see that? I don't know.
Yeah. No, from like the moment it started and one of the like songs from the 70s played and they're like getting out of school or whatever, I was like, okay, cool. Like this could be fun.
Yeah.
And then an hour and a half later, I was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, right.
Wait, why was that guy taking kids? What?
Yeah,
Who were the kids even? Like, what the fuck?
you just like kids. And I think this movie suffers from the same thing that Prey suffered from, in my opinion, which is like the focus. I mean, I guess Black Phone isn't necessarily like a horror movie per se. I mean, it is, but it's
a horror
not.
movie.
It is,
There's paranormal stuff and there's murder
Right.
stuff. It's
But
just
they-
like it seems
it-
like it should have been PG.
it focused on the wrong people. Like Prey focused way too much on the girl's whole issue, her whole deal for
Right.
too long
Instead
And
of
it-
the alien.
instead of the predator. And then this one, it was like focusing on the kids, which I get, but when you have a character like a villain that you're obviously trying to make, a thing, or have a lot of focus on, like he has this fucking elaborate mask and this thing, like whatever. okay, we'll spend some time on him then. Like, you know,
Well,
Freddy,
right.
Jason, like they all have this fucking story that
Good
you know.
backstories. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're just like, and now we
And
won't
like,
get to know because he's dead, which
yeah, and like, how evil is he really? Because like the shit the kids said about him on the phone is just like him beating them up and like torturing them, sure, but there's no detail. I mean, the shit he did to his brother was the craziest thing,
right. Yeah.
which like you would think the horrors of what he did to the kids would have been like more focal to make you more scared of him.
Yeah. Like way more
Especially
weird.
because he's such a weirdo, being like, I'm not going to hurt you. You're safe here. Like, nothing
Mhm.
bad will happen to you down here. Like, that part I thought was great. Like, I wanted to see the transition for the other person, but instead it just happened instantly and then the movie was over.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, well, that's weak.
Yeah. And like you saw like a little bit from the fucking what's his nuts? The fucking bully kid.
Yeah.
Like he was all fucking, his eyes are all bloody and he's all fucking bloody. I'm like, okay, cool. What fucking happened? Like,
Oh,
did he
yeah,
just
that's right.
choke him to
But it was
death or
just
like,
that quick thing.
yeah. And even Robin, like you really couldn't see what happened to him when he was on camera in this, you know, in the basement with him.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, I want to see some fucking gore and just
Yeah, like again, for something rated R, you know,
right.
just kind of like, because I didn't even realize that, to be completely honest. I think I watched this movie, I went away, and I was like, PG-13. That's just what it was.
That's what I thought too.
And then I just looked it up, and I'm like, ah, shit. I'm gonna be completely honest. My idea for this movie was definitely a little bit higher before talking about everything, and then I'm like, ah, shit. This was not that great of a movie.
Right.
Like, it had potential, because that's what was so, that's what sucks about it. It's like there was so much that it could have had and it didn't.
Like, well, what it had was good. The fact is, it just didn't have enough.
Exactly.
It didn't
Yeah,
explain,
that's
it didn't, and it didn't have like the backbone to support what happened. 'Cause it was very superficial. Yeah, like I would, if I feel like kids could watch this without being totally scarred or whatever. Like it plays like you said, like a PG-13 movie. I don't think it's.
Yeah, it's like you get more backstory on like an episode of Creep Show or like one of the Creep Show movies with their little 20-minute fucking, you know, skits. Yeah. You're like, oh, okay, yeah. Like I felt, yeah, right.
Yeah. Not only was there no backstory, it just, yeah, it seemed like they were trying to go for a PG-13 rating. Like Scarlett said, I thought they were shooting for that, and that's why they maybe didn't show as much as they did.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that are afraid of like showing kids getting killed in movies. And I don't
totally.
I'm like, I mean, it happens.
Fuck them kids.
Yeah, that's my thought. But I mean, you know,
yeah.
I'm like, just
you
it.
Do not. You don't see a lot of that anymore.
Yeah. And that's why, like, I was honestly like with the new It movies, like I was surprised that they did that so much. And I was like, okay, but good for you for doing that. And people didn't like cry about, I don't know, I don't remember.
Yeah, they weren't freaking out over like, oh my god.
People weren't freaking out about it. So it's like, let's let that be the new, you know, stepping stone. Come on, people.
Like, especially
no more kids in movies. Just do it.
A serial killer movie.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or have fucking Tom Savini involved with it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess
have some sort of FX makeup that's like better than just the axe going in the head.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was more so for his masks because he's real into like making the masks now.
That's true. The mask was dope.
Yeah, but I'm like,
yeah, they were great.
But it's a fucking horror movie, supernatural movie with a fucking serial killer that kills kids.
Yeah.
Come on, like you gotta. I
want to see more Savini.
Empty that gun and just fucking get it all out there. Let's see some shit. But you didn't. You didn't see any of it, and that's a problem. Again, they should have called us.
Again.
Yeah. I don't know. So, I mean, basically, the moral of this story is you fucked up and you should have shown more and done more.
Yeah.
With this movie. Yeah, I don't know.
Should have been longer, which I never say.
Yeah. Fuck, an hour and 40 minutes.
Sure.
And
I
like,
see like a 2.5 hour movie, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Sinister creeped me out. I really was expecting this movie to creep me out.
Yeah, it was really underwhelming.
Like there were a couple parts in Sinister because it's basically the same team,
Right.
right? There were like 2 or 3 visuals in Sinister that like, I was watching it by myself, but it got me. It got me for a minute. Like this, nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing really creepy about it. Like I didn't watch it and like, oh, that was kind of fucked up, or that was, except for the axe in the head. I'm like, that was cool.
That was rad.
I think the first time he walked down the stairs, it was shot well, but then again, like nothing follows up after. Like,
Mm-mm.
so it's all for nothing really when it's
Right.
because after that it was just shots of the different masks and kind of the different personalities, but no,
And him
it's
wanting
nothing
to
freaky.
play the naughty boy game, but not getting it. Blue
Yeah,
balled.
but he didn't
Blue
get the
balled on the
naughty
naughty
boy
boy game.
See, I wanted to see him like really flip out for not getting the naughty boy game, but he didn't flip out enough.
Yeah.
No,
Like
he
I
like
thought
got
he was gonna go ballistic with the newspaper thing when Finn lied about his name,
right.
but he just like threw the newspaper, I think.
He like got just as mad at his brother when he's yelling up the stairs
Yeah,
as
exactly.
he did it any other time. He was like,
Yeah.
"Ah!" I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's another fucking lead fart of a movie.
I liked it more than that. I just am disappointed because I know they could do better.
Yeah, absolutely. I
That's
fully
the
agree.
part. That's the part that hurts me the most is they could have done better, and I'm like, God damn it!
And they have done better. They all have. Everyone who's involved in this has done better.
All
Right.
has done
Like-
better. Absolutely.
Like you just phone this one in, and there's still
And this
people out there
one,
that are,
phone it
you
in.
know, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I totally
I
meant
like
to do
the
that.
combination of serial killer with a supernatural element, but yeah, they really should have had
Just
some
tied
more
that in more.
planning meetings before they
Yeah.
went with this line they went with.
Yep. Agreed. All right, I think it's time. Let's fucking rate this bitch. Who wants to go first? I'll go first. Everyone's like, no.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know.
I'm gonna be even a little harder on this one than I was on Prey, just because I felt they both had a lot of potential that I feel like they didn't come close to meeting. But I feel like the people working on this movie should have known better and should have done better. So I'm giving it like a 1. Like,
Whoa.
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Like I've watched it
So-
twice, maybe 3 times now, and it's like so underwhelming. I'm like, every time I'm like, except for the first time, but the second time I was like, every time I watch it, I find myself doing something else more and more.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I
I
mean?
mean, I guess I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because even Prey, like, I didn't like it, but it was still, like you said, after
It
it
was
got past the
visually
fucking,
entertaining.
yeah, the first 40 minutes and starts getting into the shit, you're like, okay, there's like stuff happening, and you're like, oh, this is cool looking, that looks cool, and this one like had some cool imagery, but it just didn't deliver on it like it
Yeah.
should have. So
Hmm.
yeah, big old fat one naughty boy candy going.
Naughty boy one.
See,
Like
I
that's
don't know
such
if
a
I
good
can put-
concept. Like elaborate on that whole fucking thing. Like, is he
I
gonna? Does he
know.
rape him? Does he fucking?
Right.
What's he do?
Shit out of him. Like, what's he do? Like, beat
Is
him till
he
he kills
gay?
him?
Like,
yeah,
what's the deal?
Yeah.
Like what's going
Is
on?
it just like a Gacy thing? Like, what? Like,
Right.
yeah. Like, what is this?
Right.
What is everything? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think I can rate it lower than Prey only because the first 45 minutes of Prey really
Right.
bummed me out. And I almost turned it off because I was like, this isn't going to go anywhere. And I mean, that's something that shouldn't happen on a Predator movie.
Right. This is true.
And I thought that the things this one did, they did right. It just wasn't enough. Like it just needed more of some continuity and fill-ins.
Right. And that's the thing.
but
I think my expectations
I
were
don't
just
know if I
higher.
would
for
watch this again.
It was just
It-
higher.
mine
for
were
this, so.
I mean, mine were super high for both, but would I watch this again? Like, I don't, probably not. Like, if it's on TV, I might, but there's not a real reason to because there wasn't I don't think there's going to be things I missed or like something else I'm going to get out of it again. And it wasn't
Right.
necessarily fun enough to make me want to just pop it on, which is making me want to lower my score. than I originally thought.
I know. The more we keep
But-
going, man.
All
I
right.
know. But I'm going to give it a 2.25.
All right. Now you're thinking, you're like, I feel
Dude.
bad. I feel dirty for giving it a high score. That high
I mean,
score.
That's like me. Like I'm giving it like a 2.3. And I honestly, I think
Yeah.
at the beginning of this, I was like, I've got a 3.
I was a
Like, okay.
3.
And I was like maybe a little bit above a 3. And then I was just like, no. Okay, no, we're going lower. We're going
Yeah.
lower. Ah, shit.
I was
it's almost a 2.
Yeah, I was holding out at 3. I was really gonna stick this
Yeah.
one with 3 no matter what, but then I started
But
thinking
it-
about watching it again. and I was
Exactly.
like,
So I was gonna say it's the same type of thing. Like I think if it's one of those movies that if my mom hadn't watched it and I was at her house, I'd be like, nah, let's watch something else. Like
Yeah.
let's-
yeah.
you know, no.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hovering just under a 2, which is a pretty decent score. Like I said, it
It
just,
sucks though because it's a better movie than that. It's just that
Yeah.
the people involved, it should have been even better.
yeah.
Exactly.
And that's like a tragedy because I thought this could be, I really believe this could be up there with like I said, Stand By Me and the first It and all that, which
Yeah.
It could have been.
which
I
was fun
agree.
for me.
I agree. And that's, like I said, that's why I'm even, it was harder on this one than Prey. Cause anything after the fucking after I saw the second Predator, I was like,
Yeah.
dude, my expectations are so low.
So
like
low.
the last Predator, I was like,
Yeah.
and then that one was just fucking terrible. I'm like, ugh, fooled me again. And so this one comes out, I'm like, dude, if it's even watchable, like that's good, you know? Whereas
Yeah.
this, I'm like, okay, it's got cool people involved. This fucking magician, fucking clown, serial killer dude. I'm like, okay, like, all right, this shit seems like it could go somewhere. It's got fucking Savini doing some makeup and shit. I'm like, okay, all right. And then watching, I'm like, oh, this is a totally forgettable movie, which bums me out to say because it has good stuff in it and did good stuff, but it should just have been more of it and better.
It's true.
So, yeah. So do with that what you will, candy killers. Let us know if you agree or disagree.
Yeah.
And
Or don't. It's
Yeah,
fine.
or don't. Yeah, whatever.
We actually don't. I don't know that we care.
No,
Yeah.
we don't. And you're probably still mad at us from the
Sorry.
last one for Prey.
it's all right.
Being like, you guys are fucking terrible.
Last few probably. But
Yeah. Anyway, thanks again for checking us out, listening. Thanks again to Scarlett for coming on and helping us out with these
thank
horrible
you.
movies.
Hey, no problem. Always down to
So I was
realize
like,
that I
God damn it, couldn't you bring me back for something that's good?
Well,
Yeah.
I think that she thought she was,
Yeah.
as did I, until we got farther through this.
And make sure to check her out.
exactly. I really
Yeah, Scarlett.
what was that? Oh no, yeah, no, that was it. Like I thought, I thought it was gonna be
That was
better,
gonna be-
man. I was like, I even told my boss,
He's really
I was
good at like
"Dude,
bringing the score down. I used to, if you listen to the first episodes I was on this, I was like solid
Yeah.
like 3s and 4s with most stuff. Now I'm like, I don't know, it's like a 2, but I like
Yeah.
it. Like, what has happened to me?
just digging that knife in. You're like,
Oh, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
come be a naughty boy, Oubliette.
Yeah,
Um,
that is reserved for Daddy Hawk, sir.
True.
Those
But-
nice brown, ugly 70s brown pants.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't even
It's
know.
a beautiful thing.
I didn't even know that was him.
He had like the nice dad bod muscles glistening with like, nice looks like sweaty and chalky at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, look, you look very
Yeah.
dusty, but sweaty.
Yeah.
Dusty yet moist.
Mm-hmm. That wet dust. You know.
Dusty Pete.
And your muscles are just big enough, but also soft and tender.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Like you could move a
Daddy Hawk.
chair, but you're comfortable to lay on. Anyway, go check out Down the Hatch Food Reviews,
Yeah,
starring Scarlett.
that'd be tight.
Yep. And she'll tell you what foods are good and what foods make her
Tell you
tumbly
suck.
rumbly.
Well, hello,
True.
Mr.
Yeah,
Fancy
make you
Pants.
poo.
Anyway, thanks everybody. Check us out on the next episode of Monster Candy Podcast.
Want some candy?
You ever dance with the dim light of pale moonlight? We don't have to be mean.
Yeah, Jack Burton just looks that big old storm right square in the eye and he says, "Get away from her, you bitch!"
You're gonna need a bigger boat. Your move, creep.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.